What's up, guys? How you guys doing? I hope everyone is all right and everything is okay. I was just taking a stroll at a nearby shopping mall where they had an adult collectible toy shop, and lo and behold, I found this gentleman right here, the Flash from the McFarlane DC Multiverse. Now, over the past few weeks, I've been reviewing Marvel Legends and always eyed for the DC Multiverse line. And to see one, shall we say, in real life, especially the core characters, the Supermans, the Batmans, the Flash, you know what I'm talking about. It's just something that I had to get because if you're familiar with my videos, you know for a fact that I go for the definitive version of all these figures. So for me, this one, okay, it has some variations in terms of the design of the costume, but it is that red and yellow combo that I associate Flash with. So as a result, I had to get this. Now, I have never collected any DC Multiverse for any, shall we say, iterations. I don't know why, because to be truthful, DC comic books is my preferred comic books as opposed to Marvels, but for some reason, I don't know, the toy line or whatever, it doesn't appeal to me that much. Well, until this came along, and I guess supposedly when McFarlane took over, it's a little bit of a hit and miss, but the ones that he does get it right seems something that is more in line with my liking and expectations. So, I had to get it, but I was holding on because I wanted to see this in the stores rather than buying online before I make a judgment call. And needless to say, I wasn't disappointed. So what do we get from a typical DC Multiverse box? Of course, one thing to note that I have noticed is that I don't know whether it's particularly true for the Flash, but he comes with this sort of post in the packaging itself. The box itself seems pretty large compared to a Marvel Legends. In fact, hold on a minute, I do have a Marvel Legend box, one that I got yesterday, the gray Black Widow, because why not? Anyway, I'm not going to review this today, but just to see a size comparison between a Marvel Legends box, this is like the standard box, as opposed to the standard box for the DC Multiverse, and you can see it's quite a bit of a difference there. Actually, in terms of the figure sizes, it's only about an inch difference. This is a 7-inch figure, this is a 6-inch figure, but the box is definitely maybe a slightly more than an inch, maybe. And also it's a bit more wider. I think it is. Yeah, it is wider. So yeah, I don't know, maybe McFarlane fits quite a few things inside. Let's see. So Black Widow, I'll see you in the next review. Right, so for the box itself, you have the display box that has a fantastic display of the figure right in front with a very big window. You have on the sides no particular artwork of interest, unlike the Marvel Legends one, but at the back you do have the reference in which this Flash figure is based off, and this particular Flash figures, according to this, is from the DC Rebirth line. I don't see much or any other descriptions that says something about the Flash, but I presume that is covered by the card that you can just about see inside the box. Okay, so nothing down there that is of interest, and up there, well, small window, I suppose. Let's try opening this box, see what we have and get as an offering from McFarlane, and take it from there. Right, now as usual, I will unbox it right in front of your eyes. I've used my trusty friend Mr. Knifey, and I've cut the relevant tapes that is necessary right at the box you have the figure in all its glory. I see the card is actually attached inside the box as a separate piece, and it's actually kind of I think you need to destroy the what do you call it, the cardboard background to get the access to the card. And the card itself is nice artwork in the front and a bio of the source material for the figure, some description of the character. So Barry Allen, 5 feet 11 inches, 1.8 meters, 179 pounds or 81.19 kg. Let's see, the card says, in a freak lab accident, forensic scientist Barry Allen was struck by lightning and doused with chemicals which gave him the superpowers of the Speed Force. Now he uses these powers to defend his hometown of Central City and the rest of the world from the forces of evil as the Flash, the fastest man alive, and can run up the sides of the building across oceans around the world at light speed. He can also vibrate his molecules to phase through solid objects. So there you go, fantastic, nice card that you can use in as a separate, like a collector piece. And it also comes with this like a stand, I suppose, that you can pack to the feet to give the figure a little bit more stability. The only thing is, you have to, as you can see here, destroy the cardboard piece here to get to the these things. But there you go. The stand itself, nothing much to shout about. A peg and a DC logo, and it's just like a standard stand, I suppose. Some nifty artwork about the Flash, and I suppose over the years, I can see like well, some things that are not even relevant to the Flash. Anyways, so the box out of the way, let's look at the figure itself. Yes, pretty neat indeed. Right off the bat, the color just pops. The figure, I like this sort of in action pose in the figure, as opposed to something that is plain Jane in this case. Anyways, some accessories in terms of the sort of the Flash effects that I guess jets out from the Flash. As the card, you can see the lightning effects. In fact, that's the only accessories. It's all effects, and I suppose it goes into various parts of his body. So that's what you get when you take the Flash figure out of the box. So let's try to untie all this and see how the articulation and all the good stuff works. Right, some quality control check, and I can say right out of the back, the design for this is just gorgeous. I think the paint job is all spot on. Okay, I'm not going to nitpick like small smudge here and there and all that, but by and large, I don't really see anything that is of concern. Yeah, the red pops, the white, the yellow pops. The one thing I noticed is that it doesn't really come with any accessories in terms of, like different sets of hands or anything like that. All he has is this sort of lightning effect or whatever, the Flash effect. I'm not too sure whether I'm going to use every one of them in my display, but I suppose that's okay. The stand itself is not something that I'm too fond of, but I prefer most of my figures without the stand, unless of course it's a flight stand. But I don't know whether he can stand all by himself, because this is the way he came from the packaging, and I'm trying to sort of fix him, and it doesn't look like he can stand by himself, so I have to play around with that. But let's look at the articulation for the time being, just to see the usual gumph, the head articulation, hands and arms and all that. From a head point of view, Flash looks all the way that much up, that much down. left and right, so I think it's the same sort of a ball back and hinge combo. Stretching out, he can stretch decently, that much, and forward by that much, so decent. Can rotate, so nothing much difference there. There is a bicep swivel, that's good. Double jointed elbow, that's also good. And then for the hands itself, the ball joint is a bit more prominent, so it's not really hidden somewhat, but you can do what every other figure does, which is inward, outward, all aroundwards. There's a cut right below or right above the diaphragm there that allows forward crunch, just about that much. Let me put down his arms. Yeah, it's not much to begin with. In terms of backwards, there's quite a bit of stretch backwards. I can only assume that's because his abdomen allows that movement and to be more towards the back, and in the front, yeah, it's just okay, I suppose. Of course, his pants is made out of like a softer material of plastic, so because he was pre-posed with his leg up, I think you can see there's a little bit of like a bended plastic here that I presume you can more than what you gotta fix it with some hot water and whatnot. In terms of the stretch of the leg, doing the splits, I think he can do pretty much a decent split, in fact all the way down, and that's probably the reason why. And then for a forward kick, that's quite a bit of a kick. And backwards, well, you're always gonna have that problem, aren't you? There is no thigh cut, so that's always was something that I think people complain about the McFarlane figures, but nevertheless, in terms of the knee, double jointed, and it allows for the Flash's legs to touch his booty. I'm not too sure whether I like the shape of his knee when it's all bendy like this, but well, it's okay. No cuts in the sort of the shin area there. Again, similar sort of arrangement in terms of the articulation on the ankles. You can actually see the ball joint that does allow movements up, down that much. There is a toe cut, swivel. Okay, no, actually it's not going to allow any swivel, so there you go. Left and right, that's interesting. He moves left and right from much higher than what I'm accustomed to, rather than lower. Can he? Yeah, sure, sorry. Yep, he can do that from the lower portion, so from the waist it is possible, so that's good. What else? Yep, there is that hole there that attaches to the stand if you need to. But other than that, I think it's pretty much safe bet for this figure. Decent articulation and fantastic look. What else can you ask for? Now let's try to fix all these effects and whatnot. Try to make him stand with and without the stand. Let's try that and see, and then we go to the final thoughts of this figure. Right, so one thing I noticed, thank God it can stand without a hand, because that's the look I was going for. I don't want this. So to have him stand that without the stand, I am good. But there is, if you're pedantic, you're going to notice certain things. For instance, the sort of the flash effect on the head gear is off in sort of one of them compared to the other. They're not like in parallel, so there's one that's kind of lower than the other. I think you can fix it. I mean, in the front, it doesn't look all that bad, and wow, look at that face. That face is just fantastic. And then, I mean, the fantastic sculpt, that cheeky smile, and the fastest man, he can outrun you. He knows that he has the upper hand, so that's what you get. That cheeky smile is from that, knowing that. Anyway, so the point I was trying to make is, like I said, there are certain things that you will notice, especially this leg position. So if you can see here, this is how I would stand him, or make him stand rather, and you can see this works as a stand. But if you're very particular, you will notice that this could have used that thigh cut to allow a more natural position of the leg. Now as it stands, the upper leg all the way to the shin is all facing sort of at an angle, whereas I have to shift the actual feet the other way, so it looks a bit it's not the natural way. I don't know, you would actually pose this, because from if you take for example the Marvel Legends, you actually have the thigh cut that allows the articulation that way, so that the whole leg is in sort of in one direction. I mean, you know, if you are particular about all that, that's going to bother you. But if you are not, I think, you know, end of the day, if the figure looks good in your display, that's all that matters, whether anatomically it is correct or not. If they have taken some liberty, well, it's okay, I suppose. As I said, there is that portion, like I said, because of the soft plastic, it is gonna, you know, just have like a it's gonna rise up to the occasion, shall we say, and you're gonna see all the gaps and whatnot, so that might bother some. I don't know whether it bothers me that much, but I think it's quite easily fixed. But that all being said, I'm perfectly happy with the way the figure looks, and that to me is the number one reason I will buy the figure anyways. So the others are secondary. So let's try to put all the effects and then see how he gets on with it. Now I think I just realized why the stand is there for. I think I've just tried, I tried to play around with the posing in terms of his running pose, and yeah, obviously he's not gonna stand in this pose, so that stand is useful. So I spoke too soon, sorry. Anyways, the effects that comes out of Flash, you know, when he's running and whatnot, I suppose you have to go with gut feel here, because it's not really any indication whatsoever, either in the effects itself or in the box that says where it all should go, but just guesswork. You can tell you, you can just about imagine where it should go. I think this piece here, it kind of looks like it should be from the bottom position, and that kind of works, I suppose. So you can go with that kind of figure, that kind of arrangement. And then this one here actually has there you go. Anyways, there you go. This has effects that are actually independent of each other, and it's pretty obvious that it's likely to be inserted at the back of the Flash, because the profile seems to be indicating is more connected to the back, like in this arrangement here, and you can move it up and down. I don't know, I'm not too sure. I appreciate the sort of effects that comes with this figure, but I think there's just way too many of these things that is all sticking out. And realistically speaking, I'm gonna put him in with the team and whatnot, and if I put all these effects, it's really gonna limit the space of people who are placed next to him. So I don't know, I'm not a huge fan of the effect. It might work for you. If it does, good for you. If not, if you're like me, if you're gonna put him with the Justice League team, I would opt for just taking this out, really. It's not cumbersome, but I think it's gonna take too much space in your shelves anyway. So there you go, that's the Flash. So I think I will end the video. What do I think of this? For not actually owning any McFarlane figures previously, well, Okay, I tell a lie. I actually own the Spawn figures, but that's not really the same sort of makeup now, is that? Because that's predominantly a statue. This one, not knowing what I'm gonna get, and sort of getting reviews from people saying it's always gonna be a hit or a miss, I'm liking what I'm seeing here right here. You know, for me, the look is the most important thing in terms of how the figure should look in my display, and I can tell you this passes off as one of the best flash representation I've seen in the market. I don't know, I can't claim that I've seen every single one of them, but this face sculpt, this color combo, just the paint job is just fantastic, and so I'm happy with whatever I'm seeing right here. Am I gonna pose him and articulate and all that? I think, as I mentioned before, it's going to be the pose that is where he's standing with next to all the Justice League members, and forming the team, because I have let's say all the essential Marvel characters that make up the Marvel universe. So I would like to have a DC equivalent for that. I don't really mind the size differences. In an ideal world, yes, I would like my DC figures to be the same as the Marvel figures in terms of size, so that it's all uniform. But if it is different, it's different because it is a different line. I'm okay with that. And if I can build a decent team with the Superman, I've seen the Superman, I like what I see. I'm not too sure about the Batman, but in the interest of getting figures that are more correct representations in the comic, I will probably get that. I'm not gonna get the Wonder Woman 84 and all that. Okay, that's all a different story. Let's see as it comes. But so far, if this is the first figure that I got, and I'm thoroughly impressed with what I'm getting right here. Yes, there are, if you really want to nitpick, like I said, you can, but so can you with any other figures out there. Truth be told, if you're really honest to yourself, there is no such thing as 100% perfect fit figure. So with that, let me end this. Like I said, if you're planning to build a DC figure from scratch, just like I am, to complement your Marvel figures, regardless of the size, and if you're not too particular about all this is a good start. And then let's hope McFarlane continues to produce some decent figures so that we can actually build a team. Right, with that, I bid you farewell, ladies and gentlemen, and as always, stay safe. If you like what you see, please click to my channel by clicking the like and subscribe button, and I shall see you in the next review, whatever it may be, when I can. See you guys. Adios.
Here we go, making Billy on, getting icy zone, flexing, I've been swerving, make it trendy, we look sexy. Here we go, making Billy on, getting icy zone, flexing, I've been swerving, make it trendy, we look sexy. It's so icy, 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 엄마 내 combination, 새로운 가간지 머리 swag, 남들이 잘 때도 쓸어 담지, breaking good, life is good.